Hi, Dave Hodgson from KLTV with this week's hot in-depth topic. Transport, bane of our lives. You want a bus, it doesn't come. 6 come then, or they cancel the route completely. Well, actually, the powers that be want to know all your bad experiences as well as your good ones when it comes to buses and trains. In fact, they're looking at an integrated transport plan for the first time, which will take them 20 years to complete entirely. Seems a long time, doesn't it? It does mean that you can make a difference. You can say what you want and it just might happen. And if you don't say, it might not happen at all anyway. So, what you will have on our social media site on KLTV is a list of places in Kirklees and the times and the dates when the consultation will happen. What's it going to be like, you say? Come on, I'll show you.
I think with the transport system across West Yorkshire, we've got a very growing economy. We have obviously had some downturns over the years, but there's a real issue, I think, about mobility around a functional geography. So I think getting transport integrated, the importance of bus, I think, is sometimes understated. People understand the role, I think, of using the train and the private car from moving from centre to centre, but purely in terms of the number of journeys, bus is incredibly important. And I think, over the next couple of years, we've really got to make the most of what is a great asset, really in terms of linking the economy and transport more closely together.
It's essential for the future of public transport right across the city region, actually. This is going to help define our strategy and our approach to public transport and buses in particular for the next 20 years. So we've organised a lot of drop-in sessions to make sure that as many people as possible can really give their feedback on what they want to see us do for buses in the future.
This consultation is about a whole variety of things. It's about routes, fares, what people actually want from buses. As managers, we tend to think we know they want high quality, they want affordable fares, and they want ease of access, but it's trying to go into more detail about what customers actually want over the next 10, 15, 20 years.
I think it's crucial that we actually devise services that more people actually come and use the bus services. We want to hear the arguments from both sides, people who are using it at this moment of time, what's good about it and what's not good about it, and what we can make better. But the most important thing is those people who are actually not using the buses, and why they're not using the buses, because if we want to actually devise a program for the next 20 years, we need to have those arguments on board.
A lot of bus services, they run right across different districts, so it makes sense for us to come together and work out the best strategy possible going forward. So they are tough times, but what we can do when we pool our resources is that much greater.
Here we want cross-ticketing for all the operators, so if a person buys a ticket, they can actually jump on any bus within West Yorkshire rather than actually just restrict it to one operator.
People talk a lot about integration because they want to be able to step out of a railway station onto a bus, but how important is that to people? And how often will people actually use that facility? Because sometimes it's hard to do, and we want to make sure that's something that a large number of people will actually benefit from.
I think there's probably been a period of time where the role of bus just hasn't been properly understood. We want, obviously, the public to tell us what they want from the bus system. What I'll be trying to do, though, is to get business and employers also feeding into that debate.
I think they're buying into the concept of this idea, and it's in their benefit also as much as it's in the benefit of the West Yorkshire Combined Authority or the city region.
So we need to work closely together, and we won't always agree on everything. No one ever does, and you don't even within your own party. But it's important, if we want to get the best deals on devolution, on public transport for the public, then we have to work together.
What we're doing within the Combined Authority and the Local Enterprise Partnership, though, is we are monitoring things, and what we will do is we will act rapidly and flexibly if we start to see things becoming a bit of a shock into the system. So I think it is quite early. We have looked at what the economic effects could be. We're a very diverse economy, so I don't think every sector is going to be affected in the same way. But we just stand ready to react as and when things become a little bit clearer.
West Yorkshire does benefit from a multi-operator and train, so multimodal ticket that people who do make bus and train journeys can benefit from in West Yorkshire. And that's quite unique and is actually highly valued. But how can we develop that further is what this consultation is about.
Well, I hope that's given you a bit of information about the 20-year integrated transport consultation plan. They want your advice. They want to know what your preferences are. Look on our social media site and you'll find all the places where they're doing this consultation and the times and the date. So you've no excuse. Well, even I'm going. Take care, stay lucky. Bye-bye.